Hey folks, what's up? Check it out. You are live with DGL7. Today I have a very special guest. I'm gonna be visiting her soon. Actually, I have. Anyways, check it out though. Actually, she's been very deeply involved with public housing stuff. We got two very important topics today.
Yeah.
You want to cover the primary race? Or you want to cover the 2025 thing first?
Well, we could start off with whatever, because either topic is about to be blown off and people are about to get upset. We
Okay,
could talk about the election and everything for people because it's bad. And as you
these
see
numbers are
today,
amazing. Thank God I have Joannie on my corner because she
yeah,
actually released a graphic to me that showed some insane, ridiculous stuff. Hey, I see someone named Williams wants to jump in, but she's still getting connected. Either way, we'll see. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to share something on the screen right now. Let me get to that over there. This is actually thanks to once again. How can people follow your stuff? By the way, I'm a big fan of your work. Follow her on Instagram, Joannie Acevedo. I'll type that in the chat right here. She's definitely, an activist that's definitely worth following, and it has been a very Joannie. Okay,
I am Joannie Acevedo on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook as well, but I also go by JoJo's Lollies, JoJo's Food Pantry Run, JoJo's political, JoJo's everything. So I do everything. I do lollipops. I talk about political stuff. I talk about food pantries, where to go get food pantry. I talk about housing situations. I do funerals. There's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. But this graphic that he's just putting up right now, it's insane.
Okay, yeah. So the thing is that we take a look at if you take a look at the actual results of the race, let me actually share that as well. Let me stop that for a second, yeah, and share the results. So the thing is that I actually have seen I know about William Smith thanks to you yourself, right? Yeah. And he's actually a district leader. He's actually involved.
Yeah,
I actually was
very
too busy
involved.
yeah, I was too busy helping Carmen Quinones, but the thing is that I know actually of Smith from I actually been to county committee, as are you. You're a county committee member.
Yes.
And I got to meet Smith. I saw him involved. He was involved with getting judges elected. I said, this guy's a mover and shaker. He's getting things done. I was like, yo, this guy, I thought he would be a top contender. What was going on? And, he was involved with stuff, but oh my goodness, let me share this over here. The results of the race show you that he only got 300 votes, right? Yeah, 6% of the total voting. Actually, Eddie Gibbs got 42%. Now, you might be like, oh, well, maybe he doesn't have support in this kind of thing. Well, let's go back to the slide that shows you the spending on this race. Holy crap, right? Yeah, and this really shows you that they call it a democracy in this country. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, let's take a look at these numbers. Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let me share the right thing. Hold up. Let me close this window and share this other one. Okay. Present over here. This was amazing, and thank you so much for sharing this with me. That was incredible. Wait. Okay. So let me see. Okay. It just happened in a second. Okay. Here it is. Wow. Okay. So here we can see that the money spent, right? The assembly member base salary was $140,000, but Eddie Gibbs spent $500,000 on his campaign. What? That's insane. Yeah. And thanks to the
they think that all this money, allegedly, they were saying that they were paying people to vote for them. Allegedly. Also, they were also allegedly saying that certain individuals was also getting votes from dead people. That their ballots were with dead people, that the DOE allegedly is recirculating signatures that people that don't even live in the district, that they're getting signatures from Jersey and other boroughs, which is supposed to be for in the borough, and they're not doing that allegedly. DOE, they need to look at all these signatures, and they need to look at them with a fine tooth comb. I don't know how true that is, because allegedly I was just told about this, but it's disgusting. And if people that work in the DOE should be ashamed of themselves if they're letting this go on.
This graphic is insane. It says
Insane. Can you believe that? Where did
$240 per
all this
vote.
money
What?
from? Exactly.
Yeah.
They say that for Will Smith, even though that he's the lowest one, he's the one that's making the most noise and is the realest person. I've been working on him we were supposed to be working on stuff with domestic violence, gun control, men mental health, women mental health, the stuff with the drugs going around, with the methadone and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked. Once again, I know Smith has paid his dues. I've seen him around. I've seen him doing stuff.
Absolutely.
He's active. So to see this, but once again, a lot of people don't vote in the primaries, and there's a lot of ways that people get paid to be a part of the campaign. And this I remember that when I was working for Carmen Quinona, some people would walk up and be like, "You gonna pay me to vote for you?" And then she'd be like,
Right.
"No," and they'd be like, "No, I can't vote for you." And I'd be like, "What?" It's kind of like a known thing in the community. I was like, damn,
right.
And yeah, this $3,000 versus $500,000. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for showing this.
This was sent to me. This was sent to me by someone anonymous. And they say, Joannie, I know that you're the chick that will air this out with no discretion. Absolutely.
All right, yeah.
But it's not fair when we have people that we put in office and they don't do what they ask, or they don't do what they're supposed to be doing, or they don't say what they're doing. So
yeah.
it's not fair. It's not right that we keep putting the same people in office and they don't do what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And it's sad that it keeps coming up. That, come on, are you serious?
Campaigns are are actually one of the main places where money laundering happens. And sorry to say, but when $500,000 for a primary, damn, that's insane. Yeah,
very insane.
Yeah, this is super sus. Yeah. All right. So I'm starting to guess. Just so you know, I just actually from the last I'm not sure how update the numbers are, but I believe that Carmen Quinones had $4,000 for a campaign. Meanwhile, the progressives, right? Yeah, a lot of these savior figures that jump into the race and stuff, right? They actually, I think, had $125,000 in regular donations, and then another 125 from matching donations. So they actually was $4,000 versus $250,000. And I remember that one of the progressive campaigners, I think that these young kids mean well. There's a lot of these white young college kids that end up getting jobs for the summer and work for these campaigns and stuff. And they were mad at Carmen because she was running. And I was like, but the thing is that, right? Actually, you have a chance to empower someone from the community, right? William Smith has been part of the community. Yourself, you've been particularly involved, right? Yeah, and there's got to be some way to actually, right, empower people from the community, but they want to always be our saviors. They want to always be over us. And even when they have an advantage of $500,000 to $3,000, right, $250,000 to $4,000, right, they will just use that advantage and just punch you in the face with it. And it's not even fair. And it's not democracy, and it's not justice at all. So it's, as a community, that's one of the things. I come from a country where, there's a lot of manipulation going on of our government and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm happy that we have a chance to vote and be a part of the system. And, money can influence things, and it obviously is, but we have an opportunity, if we mobilize, to actually have things done in a peaceful way. A lot of these white socialist millionaires want to talk about revolution all the time. They never survived the revolution. They have no concept of the generational damage that the violence it does and all this other thing. And they're just selling it to these kids. Kids, it's time for y'all to come up and support people like Joannie Acevedo. Once again, right? You stop listening to your white millionaire socialist leaders. Joannie Acevedo is a real one. Follow myself, follow Carmen, other ones like that. People from the community. You might not agree with everything they have to say, but if you're really about helping us, then help us. Yeah, not the savior that they installed. Yeah, or the dude. And when you look at the money, it's insane. So thank you for pointing that out. That was amazing. I see some of that myself and other stuff going on. Now, I've been so busy addressing other injustices, stuff like that. I had a U.S. president candidate and all this other thing. I haven't really been able to follow up on this Project 2025. I've been so busy,
Right.
but thank God I have people in the community once again, like Joannie Acevedo out here, that is
Thank you.
investigating this and can keep me bring me up to speed. What is Project 2025? What's going on there? You said some morning about Trump.
Oh,
And by the way, I do know a
okay.
lot of people that are sympathetic to Trump because of Democratic Party BS
Man,
like
listen.
this primary. But just so you know, I also agree that you cannot trust Trump 100%. So lay it out for us, Joannie.
Project 2025. Let me tell you what Project 2025 is. I was watching the BET Awards, but I've been knew this for a very long time. I've been knew this about 10 years that they were going to, since the conservatives and the liberals never win. Never win. So they decided 50 years ago to put a playbook in play for the next president to come in for 2025 to make the whole 50 states and plus Hawaii to be Christian again. Right? So the policy they're trying to do is they're trying to dismantle Medicare, Medicaid. They want it to be whole core values of family. They want you to abolish LGBTQ. If you're a man turning into a woman, you're going to still be considered a man. If you turn yourself from a woman to a man, you're going to be considered a woman still.
Is Project 2025 a federal plan or is this a city
Oh,
plan?
they're trying to do this. Oh, let me tell you something. There's 200 million jobs. It's about to be open in 2025. And I'm reading this in time frame and fashion that they're saying if you don't believe in these Christian value cores, that you're going to be terminated from your job. They do not care if you've been on your job 23 years with the federal government, city, and state. They got people already lined up to take your position when they fire you and they move right into transition of presidential power.
Well, okay. So I'm sorry, I wasn't really because I also got around that time. I also got some information about how evictions are up inside of public housing stuff like that. So I thought it was actually related to that.
64,000 are getting evicted as we speak. They sent me that. They said that the pandemic, they ran out of money for ERAP to pay for everybody or whatever. I have a lot of people there in public housing. A lot of people got the COVID money and everything, and they didn't pay their rent and all this other stuff. So now, 4 or 5 years later, now they're starting already evicting proceedings. So we have in housing, they have about 600,000 units. As of right now, 64,000 people already been evicted and counting.
Now, the thing is that I have a friend who's actually in the shelters right now, and he says that the shelter is 65% empty.
Because they're trying to get everybody in. And since Section 8 vouchers are opened up, they get the Section 8 vouchers. You get the what is that called? Oh my God. It's another program with public assistance where you can get subsidy.
City
And
Feps?
it's oh my God, I forgot what the name of it is called.
City Feps?
City Febs. There we go. You have City Febs working and you have City Febs public assistance. City Feb working, I think they said that they'll help you pay your rent for 5 years or something like that.
Okay.
Quote me if I'm wrong, but that's what I was told. Also, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. If this Amish man goes back into office, we're screwed.
Okay.
We're screwed. So this is why a lot of Democrats, some of the Republicans, are saying the same thing. Like, whoa, hold on. This is like, but this book has been and the Project 2025 is written by the Heritage Foundation, which has over 100 different organizations putting money in it. And I'm reading it and I keep reading different stuff. So now the conservatives want to reconstruct the government and replace every person that works for federal, state, and city to take them out if they don't like their value course.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I just looked at the Project 2025 thing, right? Yeah. Because also 2025, I think that's going to be when the mayoral election happens, correct?
Yes.
So I thought it had something to do with that. Actually, just so you know, someone actually recommended me to this program, and they recommended that I apply for a job with this because I do have some conservative leanings myself. So, I guess I'm going to show this on the screen right now, this Project 2025 thing. Actually, after I looked at it,
It's saying they're also trying to dismantle. They're trying to dismantle a lot of. This is already, which is 920 something pages, right?
Okay.
So you have now they're trying to dismantle Medicaid, food stamps, a lot of stuff. This is bad. This is bad. This is so
This is
bad.
often, yeah. I think that this is an attempt to control something what's often called the fourth branch of government, which is actually right. People elect these leaders, but the fact of the matter is that there's a whole bunch of personnel inside that survives from administration to administration that carries out their own type of thing going on. Some people say another branch is the media, but once again,
it's called the F schedule.
Yeah.
Which is the F schedule means 2 million federal employees and essential at-will workers who are easily can be fired.
Now the thing is that
and then their people will move in and fill in all these gaps in all 50 states.
Now, I know that Trump has had some like resistance to. The thing is that this fourth branch of government, I think, is trying to impart their own values and beliefs versus, with or without Trump, I think that they have their own particular game plan, right?
Right, but if he's in office, that'll give some. We already got 3 conservative judges,
right?
So they're gonna say what they want to say because he's with them.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying?
If they control the bureaucracy, he will be highly pressured. That it's a intelligent game plan, but we got to be aware of what they're doing and also have our own game plan to help ourselves. Yeah. So interesting. Okay.
When I tell you that they already stripped Roe versus Wade from me, they're gonna tell me how to do something with my body. I'm in my 50s. So if I come out pregnant now and I don't even find out I'm pregnant till like 6-7 months, and I don't know, and I'm still the same weight and all that, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. They're like, no, you can't. I have elements if I'm sick or I can die through giving birth. They don't care. They saying, all right, there's another citizen that we can raise and train to be just like us. They're taking so many things from us that it's not. We the people gave them in 1776. We the ones that gave them our signatures to go say, we the people. We're giving you president, legislators, governments, city officials, aldermen, senators. We give you that signature for you to make sure that we the people, that is me and you, to say, all right, we're going to give you that shot to show us what you got. Lately, it's been a shit show. And not everybody has been really on board with the things that's going on. And it's sad. And then as I'm reading, Taraji P. Henson was on BET and she was like, yo, y'all got to read Project 2025.
Okay.
So then a lot of people, now Project 2025 has been circling after BET Awards. But I knew about this book 10 years ago and I already knew that the liberals and the conservatives were already putting it in play. They got the right man for it if he gets back in office. Man, listen, I cry because we're losing so many things. And if people say that, oh, he's for us, he cares for us, he does this for us. No.
Okay.
You gotta pull up the 4 criteria that they want to get rid of.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna do that right now. Give me a second. I was actually going around a little bit. Yeah. So okay, share screen. Give me a second. Okay. So
The
here
full
we are
value
on the
book.
screen here. I actually started poking around.
Mm-hmm.
Personnel. Okay.
That's the book.
And their training. Okay. So what are we looking at? At their playbook?
We're looking at. You're gonna look at the guidelines and the manual.
Oh, the fourth pillar is 180. Okay.
Right. Of how they want to get rid of. Yes, they want to get rid. They want to dismantle core values as family values and all this other crap.
Okay. Well. Book more 400 scholars. The next conservative president will enter on 2025 with simple choice, greatness or
Everybody's
failure.
listed. You see, everybody's listed already.
Okay, let's look at this mandate here. Okay.
There you go.
It might be loading in the screen. Let me see if let me check over here. Okay, it's actually loading in another page. Once it finishes loading, then I will actually share that.
Yeah.
2025 mandate for leadership.
This is insane.
Well, okay. Well, okay. The thing is, though, right? Like, okay. Hold up while I share that screen. The thing is that we can see that we've actually kind of failed as in terms of like, with the primary, right? We're getting beat by the money. We're being beat by the lack of motivation on part of a lot of our mobilization. So just the way that they can, get into government this way, if you want, you could join Project 2025 yourself. And then if you get into the job, then you can just do whatever you want, right? They may try to replace you with someone else.
Right.
And you got to make sure that you have your own, freedom to act how you want. So here's their actual manual. I wonder who wrote this anyways. I wonder who's behind
it. 400 scholars from all 50 states.
Who is the heritage? So I think it's one person behind this, though. I think someone's masking there who's actually.
All the names are there. All the names are all the power players are in already in set. Everybody's names is in this content. It's set. That's what they're going to do when everything is in order. That's how it's supposed to happen. And that's it.
You can see this group wants to take control of the government. Right?
Yes.
You can see over here. They're talking about the intelligence community. They're talking about controlling the media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And we should also be. That's why I have my own media, right? Because I don't trust anybody. And I have my own media. They want to take care of agriculture, education. They want to control the food. They want to control the education. The EPA, interesting. Okay.
Everything.
The economy.
They want to demolish gay rights. They want to demolish social, saying he, them, she, we. You don't have that anymore.
It is an ambitious program, and I think that in some ways, right? Yeah, in some ways, I appreciate their what is it? Their scope and their vision, and I think that we should be doing this on our own, right? So interesting. Okay, so even all groups have factions. So within this group, there's probably going to be different factions that are fighting for one thing or another. It's but who's controlling it, right? Yeah, there's going to be certain thought controllers.
Everybody's names is already in that. The book is already mandated. The book is already has everybody's name already. They already have everything on plan. They're going to demolish healthcare. They're going to demolish civil rights. They're going to demolish all that voter suppression. They wanted to. As a matter of fact, it says DEI, that diversity, equality, and inclusion fractions through the federal government in the recent years for mandating leadership equal with racism. So it's whoo.
Well, to tell you the truth, I actually have my criticisms of DEI. As in terms of its what it says, it sounds great, but a lot of times, right, you see that they'll talk about race as a black and white issue, and they'll leave Latinos and Asian Americans out. They will have this kind of like this passport bribe thing going on in Thailand and also in the Dominican Republic. Can you imagine that white people said we're going to have passport brides and we're going to go to Africa and make all these black women that would never fly, never. But because we're politically less weak and because they have some black enablers saying that everything's okay, they can do this to our people, which is wrong. So, they talk about African American studies and historically black colleges, which is cool to an extent, right? Yeah, but the historically black colleges are not helping me to address the insufficiencies of the Asian American curriculum.
Here that day one, dictatorship gains power. So by them saying they're going to be this going to be a dictatorship from day one in 2025, we're fucked.
There is, we need to make sure that our
understand everybody has values and cores, but I'm reading it, and you got over 80 other conservative groups are spearheading all this to rescue the country from a gap of radical lefts. What the hell? So this means they're just going to wipe everything that everybody works for: gay rights, gay marriages, sex marriages. They already took Roe versus Wade, 50 years. We're stepping back little by little, going back into time, and people don't seem to understand that when you put these kind of people in office, they're dangerous. They're very dangerous. Now, the liberals and conservatives are pissed off because none of them has never been into the White House, never has made it to Senate or Congress. So it's always been the Republicans and Democrats. So the liberals and the conservatives are going to run with the Republicans since they can get whoever they want in and they can do their bio course. Which I may not have finished high school and college, but we're in a crisis, ladies and gentlemen, that we got to do our homework and we got to do better. We have to do so much better.
I feel both sides have their problems. Like earlier, like I was saying, while I do appreciate, some things you do say, I do want to support the gay community. I do want to support, people that have been left behind. And some of those people like Salamander Brandy, right, who's actually co-chair of Memphis DSA, right, has been helping me, right, significantly. I've sent some help her way as well. But the thing is that unfortunately, a lot of people who are running the gay community, right, like here in New York City, they are trying to actually silence the voice of Salamander Brandy because they want to take all the money for themselves. Like I said, with the public housing, right, we have people that are actual public housing, tenant association presidents, right, who are actually running historical races to actually empower themselves, to maybe mobilize the rest of the minority and poor community. And they say, no, we don't want you. We want you to shut up. We want to get you back in your place in the line because we're running this show. So I do have my problems with not everybody on the far left, but a lot of the leadership in the far left that actually, once again, I would support DEI on its principle, right? If, of course, right, who doesn't want to be included? Who doesn't, right? Diversity, I think, is a strong part, but a lot of times other voices get left behind as they enact, I think Malcolm X said the most dangerous person is the white liberal, right? Who actually with their, because they have a self-assurance, because they think they're doing the right thing, they engage the racism and the unfair advantages, and they just smack us around without really, re-examining themselves. So Project 2025, I did not know it was a federal plan. I thought it was going to be more about like city stuff and like
no, this is all 50 states.
Yeah. So
not only that, but I found the forefront includes look up DEMOCRACY.doc.
Yeah.
Look that up and it's gonna pop up and it's gonna say the forefront includes restoring families.
OCM White Doc. Where do I look this up on the Project 2025 page? Do I Google this?
It's called Democratic Doc.
Democratic Doc.
It's a DEMOCRACY doc.
Democracy Doc.
Yes.
Okay. Is this is this just something I should Google, or is it something I should look
up? No, it pops up. It'll pop up.
Democracy Docket?
Yes.
Okay, I do see that.
You're gonna see Trump with his crony, and then you're gonna go all the way straight down, and it says those forefronts include.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen right now. Okay. I gotta admit that someone actually invited me to actually sign up for the for this Conserve 2025 thing.
Woo!
I was invited to join this project, so yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, I'm sharing the Democracy Docket right now. Do you see that right there? Is this what you're talking about?
Yes. So we're gonna go to now It's going to say what happens when Project 2025 and why it is alarming.
Okay. I'm looking on the screen right here. Is this cases analysis? Okay, I'll type in the search 2025. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where is this? Okay, it doesn't search. Okay. 2025. Alarming. Okay, here. Okay, I have. Do you see it on the screen now?
Yes, that's the one. Go straight down.
Okay. Project
Go
2025.
straight down until
Okay.
you see.
These 4 fronts.
Yes, these 4 fronts include restoring family values.
Okay.
Family at the centerpiece of American life to protect our children. That's 1. 2 is to dismantle. Excuse me.
The administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. Number 3 is defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. Number 4 is secure our God-given individual rights to live freely, what our Constitution calls the blessings of liberty. So, once again, people say one thing, but it turns out to be something else, right? So they say people make plans and God laughs. So they could plan whatever they want, right? But if we actually, enact our own stuff, then
keep going up, because now you're going to see about the anti-abortions, voters' depression, and climate.
Okay.
Go up. Keep going. Keep going. Who's behind Project 2025?
Okay, maybe go down. Okay.
Yeah, go down.
Okay.
Keep going.
I'm gonna do a search for the word abortion. Okay.
No. Keep going. You're on the right page. Just keep going.
Yeah. This one right here. Heritage Foundations use resources for anti-abortion advocacy, voter suppression, anti-climate policies, the anti-LGBTQ advocacy. Well, okay. Well, possible, right? Yeah. I'm skeptical of 2025 and the democracy docket, to tell you the truth. I'm
But
skeptical.
did you not read that this been around? The Heritage Foundation has been around for 50 years.
Okay.
So they had this plan 50 years.
I think that to tell you the truth, I'm not sure how if Trump will really be for this Project 2025 thing. He's been actually resistant to some other groups coming in to influence his stuff. Like, he's actually gotten rid of Bannon. He's gotten rid of other people, right? Yeah, he installed a lot of establishment.
Look, they have more than 100 right-wing groups, including notorious groups like America's First Legal, Public Interest Legal Foundation, Moms for Liberals. According to NBC News, a huge web of right-wing dark money groups are continuing to keep giving money, and is led by Leonard Leo, connected to Donors Trust, has been large bumped up in donations since the project was announced. So this 180-day playbook with more than 400 scholars, man. 400 scholars and policies experts from around the world, from around the country, that conservative movements around our country. That's including former Trump administrative officers and noble rights wings like former acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller, former Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security Keith Carucci, and Peter Navarro, former top aides to advise Trump. So they already got their seats in Project 2025.
Okay, so I do feel like our culture is changing, and I do feel like our culture is actually swinging more towards the conservative direction. And if not, then at least the conservatives are actually, like you said, has more power with Supreme Court, things like that. Things are definitely swinging in that direction, at least on a power basis.
Yeah.
And I remain skeptical of both sides. I remain skeptical of all the documentation, but
I've been reading it, man, and it's not good. I've been reading it, and it's not good. And they're monopolizing everything to be all Christian values. Everybody has their own style and
Christian
stuff.
can be good or bad, right? I'm not anti-Christian. I'm technically Seventh-day Adventist. Some Christians are good. Some Christians are bad, right? Like, I'm not sure, right? Being Christian doesn't mean bad to me.
No. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm
Yeah.
not saying, but
But
you
Christian
got
values
people
often
that
a
just,
covert for other stuff.
yeah, you got
Yeah.
people that's just doing things that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like I can't, I don't know. I don't know how to put it, but I can't like I'm trying to get my camera to
It's all good. Does Project 2025 have like maybe like a left wing, like, or maybe there's already like maybe Project 2025 is considered response to an already installed left wing bureaucratic, installation.
well, this is why a lot of Republicans are bringing it up.
Okay.
Because they know that this is unacceptable and this is taking our rights away. So if you're saying, oh, we want to free the people with their stuff, y'all crazy. That's like okay corral for everybody. That's like give everybody in America a goddamn gun.
You
This
know,
is the purge.
I really,
This is the purge. This is what
our
it sounds
people got
like
to
to me.
mobilize. Like they could pass
It's
whatever law they want,
purge.
but if the people don't accept it, they can't pass it. Prohibition
Right,
failed, right? Yeah. They try to
right.
do abortions, they try to ban abortions, then what happened? A lot of people died, then they had to overturn it. So they can pass whatever laws they want, but as long as we stay together, and once again, me and Joannie have worked for years together. You might agree with some things she says, might not. Once again, with me, you might agree with some things, might not, but I will stay loyal to the people that's worked with me and my friends. Whatever outsiders come in, Project 2025, Trump, Biden, I don't give rat's ass. They never talk to me. They don't got time for me. I don't care about any of them. I care about people that's with me. And
Not only that, this is dangerous for everybody. This is dangerous for my kids, my nieces, my nephews. Social Security for my mom. Like
yeah,
Social Security for us. If we retire, we can't retire. We got to still keep working because they took our Social Security. There's not going to be no banks. Everything is going to be chipped. So if you're telling me you put $10 million in the bank of cash, and if you want your $10 million out, no, they're
okay,
not trying to make paper no more money. They're trying to just put
yeah.
a chip in your wrist or barcode or something that it just keep you into loop. Like my friend said when I was on Instagram, one of the guys was like, yeah, they might in other countries being gay is illegal and they'll either kill you or arrest you. So this is how is it gonna be here? Like you can't this is supposed to be the land of the free, right? And we could come here. Everybody from all walks of life comes to our country. I'm not a racist, far from it. Everybody wants to come in to make money legally. I'm all with it. But now, when we got almost surpassed 100,000 migrants here that they're stealing and stuff, and I got my chain stolen. Well, they try to steal it.
Joannie knocked her out. Yeah, I remember that.
The
I saw they
chain
tried to
I
grab your
have
stuff.
on
Wow.
got a new chain, but this is the same medallion that they try to take, and me and my daughter, we fought. Knocked his helmet off and everything. And it happened to be one of those two guys that were from the Venezuela robbery ring up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
See, I was advocating for the migrants, but now it doesn't look good now because you messed it up for everyone that's really pure to trying to come here and get away for life. I personally did not know that half of the migrants are men, they're gay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. And they're saying that half the migrants that come here, they escape from their countries because they love men and if they said that they will get stoned or they get murdered or they get arrested for doing time.
Possible. There's a lot of migrants that they're not talking about, by the way, like people that overstay their visas for work or
Right,
especially for school. They're
right.
not talking about those things. So,
But
there's a lot of other stuff going on. Yeah.
it makes it harder for the migrants are going on the pantry lines. And they know they can't get on the pantry line because they have no stove or anything. So the people that do live here, they go on the pantry lines. And I go on the pantry lines and I talk to them. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have no right to get any of this stuff. Y'all get enough. Y'all get a credit card with money on it that my taxes pay for. Like I understand you have kids and all
Okay.
that, you want a better life and all that. I get it. But it messes up for others that do that and rob people and do things. And then it makes us as a New Yorker, not want to help you?
You know, I think they let them in on purpose, but like that's a whole nother conversation about the
Oh no,
migrants.
that's the president did that. The
Yeah,
president from Venezuela, I heard, put all the criminals out of the jails and put them on the bus and boated them right straight to the border.
this being poor, also like growing up, like I didn't really I ran away from home at the age of 16. I lived on the streets and stuff. I really didn't know how to access the public housing system.
Right,
It didn't exist where I was upstate. And then the thing is that just dealing with the system, I learned to really distrust the system. So I
right.
didn't really, I stay off the things. I got people that are in the shelter now, like I just mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
and their experiences there never really built my faith in the system. So
The thing is,
I've
I was
always,
in the shelter
yeah,
system too for a month. I
I've lived with migrants my whole life, just so you know, because the thing
look at
is
that.
that there's certain community, right? I feel like uh, that's been living in public housing that know about public housing and how to take advantage of those resources. But there's a whole bunch of people like myself, like the illegal immigrants who I was living with for basically huge portions of my life.
Right.
I remember I was in a basement apartment and I had a room, and in the room next door there was five illegal immigrants there. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And then I remember I got a second room and I was balling out because I had two rooms for myself. Wow. I was like, you know, and then I finally got an apartment later and then went back to homelessness. But you know, look, I've been with that community my whole life. So the fact of the matter is
Right.
that I think the plans are really you know, upstate there's a place called I was a place called Newburgh, and all the undesirables will be pushed together. I think the end plan is where they're ejecting the people from public housing, where they're going to go.
Right.
Into the Hochul has the high density housing by urban transportation zones. So they're going to move the
We're gonna
migrants.
go. What's gonna happen now with 65,000 evictions?
You're gonna. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be moved like
It's going
into
to get
Newburgh, Poughkeepsie.
so bad.
Yeah, they got to fill those homes because those homes were paid for with HUD funding, right? So you can't build the housing with federal funding and then just not fill it. So they got to fill it with so people coming out of prison, people with you know, people that are migrants. Though that's been who I live with, like those types of people my whole life. So I've really seen always the undesirables get shoved into there.
It's crazy. It's just crazy that the surplus that we have, that they're taking money that's needed for daycares, after school centers, they're putting it, they're taking it out monies and putting it to migrants, this and that. Like you already still know, we still have the problem with the sexual pedophiles that live right here in 110 in Lenox.
But
One,
but
two, three, and four, they still there.
the conservatives
And
are really the
migrants
ones
are
who are
the
fighting
block.
against the migrants coming in, whereas
Right.
the liberals are really kind of like inviting them in. So what do you do about that?
If you're doing damn if you don't situation, I'm all for I'm all for uh you want to live the American dream. And then what pisses me off is the governor of Texas told the migrants, oh no, you're going to New York City, they'll give you a house and a job and all that. Why are you lying to them?
He
Most of
shouldn't
them are
even be
gay.
allowed to do that.
Most
Isn't
of
that
them
a
is like
criminal act? He's
most of them
committing,
is
yeah.
like yeah, most of them is like, if you have family here, we'll send you to family members that you have that live in the States, wherever they are. We'll send you to them.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. But it can't. We're even Chicago's getting hit. California's getting hit. We're getting hit. Now Jersey's getting hit. Colorado's getting hit. So it's like, yeah, we don't need no more here. Like we're to the capacity that we don't have no more funding or money for them to be here.
Our
It's not
community
that
should
we
have
don't
to
want
say
them
it,
here,
but
that
they
they're
don't.
doing stuff
Yeah.
that's evil. And sometimes that they make it bad for everybody else.
All right. Well, the Project 2025 thing is interesting. I have not actually applied myself. Someone encouraged me to say, like, yo, you can't get a job with, you know, honestly, I'm blackballed from the progressive world, right? From any kind of job because they don't like my truth telling. So I was actually offered a job within that world. I haven't really seen if that really comes through, but I have a feeling that I might be blackballed there too because some of the truth telling that I say, right? Once again, I said earlier, I'm not 100% on board with Trump. They want someone who's a shill, who'll just say Trump's great.
Right.
I say
Right.
there's, you know, when you look at his history with working with big developers, things like that, there's definitely reasons for concern. So
Right.
while I do agree that the progressives, which are like basically in a lot of ways victimizing me hardcore,
Right.
I'm not really going to side with that side either. So I'd never actually put in my application. But once again, if enough people fill those positions who have
It's over.
another intent, they can actually change that organization and make it whatever they want. So as long as we hold our ground, right, you and me, Joannie, right, yeah, and other people that we work with, and we hold our ground right here in New York City, and we take control. Once again, big props to you for actually being part of the county committee, right? Then we can actually pass local resolutions to say when the bus comes here, right? And I'm not, even though living with migrants my whole life, this community does have a right to decide
Right.
whether people are just, you can't just dump people on, you cannot do that. So we can pass local residents, say we're going to take those buses and send them right the F back. We're going to turn them right around. Yeah.
Man, Eric Adams has been suing the bus companies. A lot of the states are suing the bus companies because they know they can't send them. So what now they're doing is they're trying to send them on the trains. Send them on the trains to the pass train and then bring here, and then they get right here and then they get in Penn Station or Grand Central Station, and it'd be like hundreds of them sitting there, whatever. I get it, but I want to know where are the presidents of these countries doing with their money that we go to their countries for vacation? What do they do with their money? You understand what I'm saying?
You know, I actually, yeah, I have friends from Venezuela. There's a lot of these socialists over here that want to promote Venezuela because they're socialists and stuff, and they just present it to be some kind of like ideal, like Disney Wonderland, right? Yeah, it's not. Okay, the people from Venezuela that I know have bullet holes in them. Okay, bullet scars. But these people say, "Oh, Venezuela is not a dangerous country." Yeah, who do you know from Venezuela? Shut the F up. You know
from your mother. They stole from me in broad daylight. They'll steal from their mother. Even their own people say, yeah, they steal from their mother, and they got the crown tattoos on their neck.
One of the highest murder rates in the world. One of the highest murder rates in the world. And it's a very violent society and country, and that's caused by huge amounts of poverty that were caused by other things going on that should be addressed, that are not.
And they'll come here thinking they can deal with that bullshit. Well, they met the right one.
Well,
they sure did.
I'm glad you came out okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just nervous now because every time I see a moped, I just I got to be on guard and I got to have my headphones off.
Yeah.
But Project 2025 is something that people need to read up on, and they want to just dismantle so much stuff and regenerate it the way that they want it to be molded. And they already have 2 million people already to fill in every position in every state.
I'm just going to admit to you right now that because of I'm so blackballed from the progressive community, right, and from the liberals community, right, yeah, the fact of the matter is that I'm desperate and I'm looking for work. So to me, right, yeah, if I could get a job with these people, not saying that I probably would mouth off on certain things and not agree with them and they probably wouldn't hire me,
right?
But I really feel like I'm in a position where I appreciate someone actually even like throwing me that link and saying, you know, like, yo, Ed, you might want to try to look for a job with these people. And I appreciate that person. So for doing that for me, you know what I mean? And a lot of these not-for-profits out here is paying their executive directors $400,000 a year, you know what I mean, while not really doing their job. You know, there's a lot of people that's, you know, we saw that $500,000 for the Eddie Gibbs campaign. There's a lot of people a lot $200 more than $200.
Yeah, to know where that money comes from.
$200 per vote, more than $200 per vote.
Well, let me tell you this:
people getting paid off for real.
Oh no, let me tell you this. Local 6, my union, decides to call me one morning and says, "Vote for Eddie Gibbs." Excuse me? Me, the political that I am, I called my union and let my union know, can I speak to such and such in the political?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, Mr. Acevedo, no. He does not do nothing for my community. So why are you asking me to vote for him? You know what they told me? Oh, because he's going to make sure that we get the new contract signed and all this and that. So we really don't care what he does for his community. Really.
It's about the money.
I want to know who all the union members that live in my District 68, I would like to have a list of their names. Because you're not going to call me and tell me that it's imperative that I need to vote for somebody that I know personally that called me a bitch, that's a racist, that doesn't like women, and he's an idiot all around the board. Can't have an intellectual conversation. You seen it the last time when we talked about the Blue Rat program that he signed it, and then a week later he threw his
took his name off.
aide under the
He
bus
did
one time. Right. And that went 5 million views, I heard, on YouTube.
Maybe I haven't had the same level of but with Gibbs, because I just don't really, I'm not in the district, so I don't really get to see and know. I do trust your word, but the thing is that with Gibbs, something's obviously weird with $200 being spent per vote. This does not sound like the mock 200. Was it over 250? It was over 200 at least.
500, $500,000.
That's something smells wrong. Something smells off. Yeah, and this should be investigated. So when these union bosses are promoting,
that should be investigated. The DOE should be investigated for having fraudulent names and signatures, and having people stay in your rotation and have other people that are dead on people's ballots, their signatures, their names, their addresses. No.
The only protection is for us to mobilize. And once again, Joannie Acevedo is a leader in this running. She not just mouthing off, she actually is in county committee. She's actually acquired a position of power to actually influence things. She actually has relationships with people like William Smith and other people that are actually, movers and shakers in the community. And this is what y'all need to be doing. So thanks again for being a leader and for being, if everybody was involved like you, we wouldn't have these problems.
The thing is that people need to wake up once they read Project 2025, and people not to start looking up their congressmen, their senators, their aldermen, the assembly people. They need to look up the stuff that they did for the community before you give them your signature. It's a whole lot of stuff that's about to go on next year that it's going to be beyond a shit show, beyond a shit show, beyond a shit show. And I'm so sad that people of all melting pots that live in New York City actually think that Orange Man is going to take care of you.
I get it, though. The thing is that the communities that are left behind, like myself, like DEI, when like my people, like, when there's no concern about our inclusion, like in sports and entertainment, where we are kept out, right? Yeah, I don't look like an activist, so all the time that they want to film an activist, I see all the cameras turn down and turn away because, oh, the Asian guy speaking, screw him. And when I feel like I'm a victim, I tell you, it drives a lot of resentment and drives people towards the arms of, right? If y'all have to help me lock in DEI and make sure it's including me. You guys have to make sure that when you talk about, right, these progressive, I guess in some ways, Eddie Gibbs is considered a progressive, or, part of part of the left wing, right, versus the Republicans who are right wing. When people see that $500,000 and they see $200, they get so disgusted that instead of researching Trump and saying, maybe I should ask questions, they just run in the other direction to whatever's there. And I get that. So really, once again, it just really takes people to really be personally involved like yourself to see through the BS. Because when people just have this knee-jerk reaction to, oh, well, this is wrong, so I'm just going to go whatever that other thing is, they're both not that great, to tell you the truth, right? Yeah.
Listen, all I can say is I do not want to be in 2025's mess. That's including me, my kids, family members, friends, you, me, all of us. We all got to fight together. I just say like this. I have a couple of rich friends that I know too, and I never see them drink just in Balenciagas and Polo and all of that. They always wear those simple white tee Hanes.
Yeah.
They wear their little Levi jeans and some either Stan Smiths or Vansons or Nikes with an expensive watch, and that's it. This is the rich man dress up. Everybody that's spending all this money on all this expensive Balenciagas and all that, that's the broke man's dress up. I understand that they have the money and they want to buy whatever, but you're just putting labels on your body to get the next man rich. The rich man is not wearing what you're wearing. And that's what you have to learn.
Yeah, even though, I was tempted, I didn't sign up for Project 2025 because I felt like someone is at the top of that determining the agenda. And you did a great job of pointing out how there's a pre-written agenda. They're not asking me what I want. They're not asking me what I'm going through, and they're asking me how they can help me. They're like, "This is what we want you to do," and you fall in line. Or I'm not really
This is why 200. This is why 2 million people's jobs are on the line as January 2025. And this is all states. This is not just our state. This is across the board.
Some people might be hoping that it's
okay.
Yeah,
we're letting you go. And
so what do you say to people that are hoping that people like, once again, I really don't know something about Eddie Gibbs, but they see Eddie Gibbs with $500,000 and they see some people are getting, they're thinking people are getting jobs off of that. And they're thinking, right, that if they're part of 2025, that maybe they'll get rid of his job, right? You're right, jobs are at stake, but probably the corrupt jobs, they're thinking, right, maybe even some honest jobs. But what do you have to say to people that are really just looking for, that are so disgusted by what they see around them, that want to go the other direction and who are thinking?
Well, a lot of people that I know, they're disgusted and they've been in the political realm for a very long time. And they tell me, Joannie, I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of trying to make sense of our community. I'm tired of other developers coming into our communities and not in letting our people that live in our community buy the properties or pre-rent to own and all of that. Which is the TILD program, which is an HPD, which was first called the grandfather's clause. Has been in the mayor's office since 1903. So a lot of people didn't know that.
I love your work so much.
My mom bought her apartment. Exactly.
Malcolm X talked about this. We need to empower. We need to get off the plantation. We need to actually empower people in our community, and then that's real. Anything else is fake as hell, right? The family values, they're not trying to empower us.
A title is a title if you're not going to do right with the title. That's it. You could be the president of something, vice president, chief, staff, treasurer, whatever. If you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, then it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It doesn't make no sense to say, I'm county committee, I'm judicial delegate, or I'm assembly person, or I'm city council, and you don't hold your part of the bargain when we put you in office. It doesn't make no sense to give my signature away to you and you don't do what's right. Doesn't make sense to not show me what your actions are and what you did for my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It doesn't show me that you did something. But certain individuals like Will Smith, Sandrea Coleman, they bust their ass. Peggy Morales,
Smith. Yeah,
you deserve better than bust their asses.
Yeah, you deserve better than what you got. And honestly, spending $8 per vote sounds like a reasonable expense. Spending $200 plus sounds crooked as hell.
It doesn't make no sense. Yeah. I need to see where all that money went.
I want to know this. I think there was other races that also like millions of dollars is spent in this power struggle versus actually helping the people, and it's disgusting, really.
I want to see, and if it's not you winning, okay, you're winning, but you're not bringing nothing to the table. Well, people that deserve that seat, and that I know that they can kick ass, and I know that they can do this with a fair handshake and a fair smile, and a handshake says, "Yes, I got you."
No, I've seen Eddie Gibbs support some decent legislation, so he's not all bad, but he's not all good either. And when something weird's going on, like $200 per vote, it needs to be investigated.
Listen, you can't have an intellectual conversation with his ass.
I never have tried. I haven't really, so.
It's not his track record to me, doesn't mean shit. He lies about things and then he takes his name off for stuff. Just own up and say that you signed for the Blue Rat.
Something smells funky about this $200.
Yeah, he's getting paid to be the puppet. You got a position that you was not only that, but they were bashing him so bad that the mother of the young man that he killed, which was his best friend, his mother still waited for an apology, and she died last year and never got it.
Thanks.
Never said, I'm so sorry for killing your son, just to try to make amends with the family. I'm so sorry it happened. Nothing. Not even I'm so sorry I did that. I didn't mean to do that. No remorse, no way, no how. So explain to me how things are gonna change.
I don't know enough about this situation. That sounds sad, yeah. But I have to. I don't know, right? And that situation was maybe they was fighting each other. I don't know yet. So, but
I don't know,
once
but
again,
he had a power. He has a seat that somebody just did federal time for, convicted felon for murder. You got this seat and you fucking it up. So I don't
something's worth
understand that
$200
things
per
that
vote.
we put you on the board, and then all of a sudden you want to act like you're the cream of the crop and all this other stuff, and then you start wanting to turn your back on people that put you in office to help out the community.
Yeah.
Not giving away turkeys, keeping the turkeys, giving it to certain individuals for the holidays, saying no, I don't want to speak to. I was banned from coming to any meetings or whatever. I got an email saying I was officially banned.
That's nuts. Okay.
Yeah. Because I told them, please don't send me no more anything about you because you don't do anything for my community. And they said, Keith, really, please let Miss Joannie Acevedo know that she is banned from coming to my office for anything. Turkeys, if I wanted to get turkeys for seniors around the area or people that really needed. No, he got turkey, didn't give it to the community. He kept it and gave it to his family. It's a lot of stuff.
I'll have to look into it. Yeah, there's so much money floating around. It's
all of them.
It's more than turkeys, right? It's like thousands of dollars. It's like, yeah, so we got to look into that. But thank you so much.
Definitely. Next time I will try to pull Sandra Coleman. I will try to pull Will Smith, and we can really get to the gritty. And I probably might pull my friend that works for CNN as well on. Very good friend, my childhood friend. So we can definitely talk about everything that's going on with each state, what needs to be done. Once again, I can't thank you enough for always putting me on your show. It's always good things, and we always finding things out and all this. But once again, people, please read Project 2025. Also, look at your congressmen, your senators, city council, your aldermen, your district leaders. Find out what they've been doing for your community before you give them that signature saying, I'm going to vote for you. Yeah. To show you that the little man in the bottom post, they didn't have that much money. But trust and believe, the one that has the least money was the one that's doing a lot of motion and taking care of the community as they're supposed to be.
They're probably the realest, right? The one
and the realest.
Probably the realest. Yeah. So thank you so much, Joannie. God bless.
Thank you. Tag me into this on Facebook and on Instagram and let me know. We'll talk more.
All right.
My pleasure.